Playing games or what are you playing on your phone?
Texted my husband.
Excellent. Right upstairs.
Didn't you go to this high school? You go to the other one.
I graduated.
That's you went the other way. I think you heard.
Well done. You should be really smart then. Right, Chip? So, Liz?
Welcome, Grant County Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for September 12th. Would you give us a roll call? That's our attendance.
Johnson?
Yes.
Jones? Here. Long?
Yes.
Maynard?
Yeah.
Here. Okay. We have the minutes to approve from July 5th.
I'll make the motion, we approve the minutes to July 5th.
Are there any revisions to the minutes?
I said, but I didn't get it. I didn't either. We didn't get it. Get no minutes, Brenda. And Chip didn't either. No. No. I went through it.
Look at mine here. That's one for them, Jim.
Did you get it back at just something else or? Yeah, I got it. That Monday. I think I got it.
Not mine either. We'll do this next month. We'll finish the minutes, okay? And the findings of fact.
Wait a minute, we're gonna move the minutes till next meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, everything's current in here.
Findings of facts. I make the motion, we accept it.
I'll second that. Though I don't have them either.
They're not in here. I think we ought to put that off till next month also. Okay,
Both of them?
both of them. Down for October. Okay, no old business. We'll move on to new business. Public hearing for docket 04 SP-22. Charles Heller, is that correct?
Hey, everybody.
Okay. All right, if you would, come up here and tell us about your project.
I have a really large motorcycle collection, that means I didn't, and decided I didn't have room in my outgoings to store the parts, so I'd like to place a storage facility container on my property. I already have concrete pad suitable for location. The container I'm looking to put it on, there's going to be a high cube 8x53. If I can't get one,
That generally lowers the tax rate. So when you have your tax rate. So these.
the container is about 115 feet from my east property line. That's also my closest neighbor. House is currently unoccupied. As you can see, there's pictures where I'm going to put it. I've got a burn pile here.
Yeah.
container will go in.
One of the things that we know from speaking to economic
The,
officials, one of the things that companies.
Only place where you be able to really see the container is you drive right on the road.
Retain.
Coming east from Marion, mountain south. And the milk house on my property shows you're about 90% of the container. You would have to look for it if you're looking at the house or bringing the road. Like a C. You can see the very rear of the parking pad used to be a stomp way for an old stomp shed and mount house, which is obscured by trees.
And really, when we talk about.
There's enough room to put two containers that size.
That solar is a part of the future of Kentucky.
So it'll be up under the trees. I see the whole project as being eventually temporary, because once I get my motorcycles reassembled,
One company is like.
and I'll sell off the parts for the motorcycles if I can
Because if they went.
restore, and then I'll get rid of the container. So probably no longer than 10 years.
I got a letter in the mail about some of that.
So if anyone has any other questions, that's basically what I propose.
I do. You're not gonna have this for commercial use as far as selling parts, you don't have a commercial.
Once I'm done with the parts, I will sell them, but I'm not planning to buy and sell parts.
Yeah,
I already have parts there. I have 2 storage units completely full of my parts at the store away on. And we'll start paying $250. I'm sorry.
not gonna be a business, not gonna be.
No, I just decided I didn't have room in my pole barn and the pole barn leaks.
How long do you figure on having there and then moving again, please?
Once I'm done restoring vehicles, or the motorcycles that I think I can restore about
Like what you can do with it then.
somewhere between 10 and 15 out of 47 motorcycles. And then once I sell off the excess parts, then I'll be getting rid of the storage container. I'm anticipating on 10.
In payments to land.
10 years.
Generations of people can benefit from these facilities in a way that both have never seen.
Yeah, if you'll remember, part of our ordinance that we put together, it is allowed in residential suburban, by special exception. This was kind of a sticking in case by case as they go in. This also, this went in front of the Grant County Commission, it's also.
History of energy. Solar can allow it to continue its history.
Do we have a
Really, of energy.
Permit already established for 6 months?
Located.
Right now, Connex boxes are allowed for 6 months for some temporary storage. But we did just do a ordinance for Connex boxes,
Be something that.
that regulates their installations. It'll be installed up to residential. It'll be up to residential, Indiana residential government. As well as up to Grant County's area-wide zoning ordinance for Connex boxes.
So you're telling us we're gonna start having a lot of these boxes?
Well, we've already got one, which is why we wrote an ordinance to try to regulate them.
We're gonna have a lot more coming.
Yeah, this allows us to actually have regulations to them and accept them on a case-by-case basis. If you remember, one of the cases that we had, if they show up in the backyard in Fairmount was the example. That way we had a chance to look at. This case, we're out in the country, we're on a cement slab, mostly hidden behind. This is just allowed by the ordinance with your.
I was out there today, I seen, got a lot of room, you do have a lot of room, I have to admit that, but I was still thinking, we have an ordinance, we give a guy 6 months.
We didn't have.
You were saying you got one now, but we only give him 6 months at that time.
Now, if you remember, he actually got through until we got our ordinance completed. And then he came back in. So we did allow him to install by special exception.
So I can get it straight, we only got 4 to vote. I don't want somebody to get mad because he might lose vote. We've got to have 4 votes here.
Yeah.
And last time I said no, but I'm not feeling so bad now. Yeah, because I know some facts that you're still taking a chance with only 4 people.
I've got a question for you. I know those containers have locks on them. There's some kind of a lock, because you don't.
Oh, it's a very secure, it's way more secure than, something I would buy from Lowe's and put up.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, because I went to
Because
a
it's a
child
steel
couldn't
building.
have access to it where they could,
Excuse me?
not the child couldn't have access, get caught.
Oh, if I got, no, if a child was to climb into it, it would take somebody else to close it. Because it has an external, have you ever seen the back of a semi truck, how the door closes? So it's the same.
We want to know about safety issues, that's all, so.
Nearly impossible for a child to climb into it and to not be able to get out.
Climb on top of it, though. Have you seen?
They can try, they're not, they don't have that.
They will do it.
But I don't have one.
I just want to know that safety issue on it, so that was my question.
It's not like a refrigerator where it's an over refrigerator where you can close it.
And why we did that 6 months before, if I remember right, because we didn't have an ordinance and we didn't want to just start asking.
We were following the 6-month ordinance that was established. Yes.
And now we have an ordinance.
We do have an ordinance, Ryan.
Yes, and we got it, had it when commissioners approved it, and I took it to every town.
I'd like to make a motion, if you're ready.
Just a minute. The only safety factor with these I see, and I would not like these in neighborhoods, you know how some kids are mean to other kids.
That's my issue.
They lock a kid in there, the kid cannot get out.
That's true. If someone
They
does,
can't lock themselves in.
you are not getting out.
Not getting out.
They do have a wood floor. But because it's gonna be sitting on a concrete pad, you would literally not be able to get out. You would have to have something like an angle grinder to cut through the side of the building.
And our ordinance restricts it to storage only, that we don't have a patient are allowed to put electric to it, but nothing else. No other utilities are allowed to.
I'm not anticipating electric. I don't know why.
Okay, are there any other questions? Is there anyone here in opposition? Hearing none, close the public hearing. Entertain a motion from the board, or if there are any other discussion that the board would like to make. Now is the time, and if there are any other conditions of approval that the board feels they need to make, now is the time.
Keep this box there beyond the 6 months.
Oh, yeah, 10 years. 10 years.
I anticipate 10 years, so I have to come back after 10 years and get permission again. And I base that on, if I restore 20 of my motorcycles and I do 2 a year, which is kind of typical because these are 50s and 60s vintage motorcycles. That's where I came up with 10 years.
Yeah, it's not, there's no time limit that I know.
And, my intent is not for
One thing I thought about was whether or not these should be painted.
I plan to paint mine the same color as my building.
Same color. Okay. Someone like to make that a condition or not?
I'd be happy to paint it white if you want. I know it's already not allowed to have advertising like the CD, like Merck's or
They can have,
Costco or something like that. So I already know I need to remove that. I'm planning to paint it white.
yeah, that's,
I'm excited about solar.
but the fact that they need to be paid.
So you want to have that as a condition?
As a condition, yeah.
All right, Mike.
That kind of makes it look like a shed or a small.
I was even considering the possibility of putting a pitched roof on it, so it would be a little more. But won't let me do that.
No, it's not real. That's good.
So I couldn't put a roof on.
They should be weather tight.
So now we still wait. Have you ever seen one just recently bought? The cheap ones, you don't know. Because they come in like in wrinkle, rusty, all kinds of things.
It's weird.
Still, shipping.
Are there any other comments or conditions? None here, hearing none, call for a motion.
I make a motion, we accept with the condition of paving it.
And not adding that roof, not.
Yeah, I just totally can't.
So I say we accept 04 by SP dash 22.
There, second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion by Bill Johnson, a second by Rex Mayor. Brenda, would you give us a roll call?
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones? Yes. Long?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yeah.
Motion passed.
What's that? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, it's not attached. Not sure if I can do one tall. Take that into consideration, you might actually make the building.
Okay, do we have any other business? Do you have anything? One other site or business that we'll need to discuss is my attorney advised me that we should take no recommendations from anybody prior to a meeting. If anybody wants to speak, they're allowed to come to the public hearing, but nobody is to make a recommendation.
So the commissioner's recommendation is no.
It's the way it's understood. If somebody wants to, you can go. Towns are welcome to come. Public hearings open, but no one's to be in. No one is to try to tell us from here. Anyway, it's a small point. I know it's been tradition. Like, as long as I know, you don't think that. Thank you for all consideration. Is there anything else? This meeting's open to the public. If there is anything else that needs to be discussed.
It's somebody, this is the area plan.
Those for zoning.
Very plans will not be here.
Aaron might have expertise on floodplain regulations.
Said Ryan.
My friend is on a flood risk.
Come on, let's slow down. We're gonna take a break. We should take a break.
County. Come on, this, I have this.
We're taking a break. It's in 2 papers. You're talking about break.
We get the information. I don't know the answer to that.